Good morning, wonderful people. Welcome to the channel. I was called to quickly share with you guys the intimacy aspects. Okay, nakshatra by nakshatra, what does each nakshatra bring to the table when moon is placed within it for compatibility? For compatibility, typically they see moon sign first. Moon sign meaning the ascendant, not the ascendant, sorry, the sign in which the moon is placed. In the chart which is shown here, it's for example in Aries. Moon in Aries in Ashwini Nakshatra. Moon in Aries can also be in Bharani Nakshatra and Kritika Nakshatra, as you can see there. Right? So we are trying to take the intimacy aspects and study them for compatibility. And when I mean compatibility, it can be on 8 levels in the Ashtakuta Gana matching system. We are taking here only those considerations which are for lasting love and compatibility, as I have put there. Lasting. So we are trying to avoid the bhakut dosha, as they call it. Okay. So basically, if the man's moon, which is blue in color, is in Aries and in Ashwini, the compatible woman's moon, which is pink in color, should be in Mrikshira and Punarvasu, beginning with. That's one, because it's the third sign from Aries. We're just talking about sign, not houses. Similarly, if the man's moon is in Ashwini Nakshatra in Aries, the fourth sign becomes Cancer, which is moon, the woman's moon in Pushya Nakshatra and Punarvasu Nakshatra in Cancer. It has to be in Cancer. So mind about the padas, because Punarvasu is both in Gemini and in Cancer. Yeah, mind the padas there. If you don't know what I mean in terms of padas, just see the nakshatra series, 27 nakshatras. There is an entire playlist you can see there. Okay, all padas are mentioned there. Now, the next good combination would be moon in Ashwini in Aries for the man, and pink moon, sweet little pink moon you see over here in Libra in Swati Nakshatra. Swati Nakshatra is also Devgana. What am I doing here? I'm matching the Ganas also, as you can see. The blue ones are all Devganas. Ashwini is Devgana. So I'm trying to keep it as far as possible, matching only to the Devganas, keeping the second, fifth, sixth houses out of the picture, and 12th house out of the picture, 9th house out of the picture. Because these all lead to the dosha which diminishes love for a couple over time. We do not want that. We want a lifelong lasting love, yes? So that's what we are trying to do. The next good combination, moon in Ashwini Nakshatra for the man, and a woman's moon, pink moon, should be over Shravana Nakshatra. It can also be over Uttarashada, but that's a Manushya Devgana and Manushya kind of matched, but not quite. Best is Devgana. Similar Ganas are best match. Dev to Dev, Manusha to Manusha, Rakshasa to Rakshasa, best. Okay. In between combinations are Dev to Manusha and Manusha to Rakshasa, but never Dev to Rakshasa. Please remember that. So you do not want to have this moon's woman in Chitra or Vishakha when the man's moon is in Ashwini. No, not a match. Even though Bhakuta is not there, it's not a match. Next possible so-so combination would be again moon in Ashwini for the man, blue moon. Blue moon is man, pink moon is woman. I'm trying to keep it just straight jacket here. Moon, pink moon in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in Aquarius. Only Purva Bhadrapada, again not Rakshasagana. This is kind of okay, but could have challenges. So what I want to do now is to take you through each one of these kinds of slides. The first one talking about moon in that particular nakshatra and where it is compatible with. As well as next slide, which I'll show you what the characteristics of that particular nakshatra's intimacy is. How does one nakshatra see intimacy when moon is placed in it? Because we all do moon sign matching, right? Without knowing what does this man or woman want? What is their idea of intimacy? It's different for each nakshatra. So let's see that one by one. Next one, I shall put up the slide of Ashwini Nakshatra of intimacy aspects. Let's get into it. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is Ashwini Nakshatra. The symbol is the same. There's the eagle, there's the horse, symbol for twin horses actually. Ashwin Kumars are the twins. And the Navamsha also is there, everything else is there, and our sweet little lovers are over there in the corner in the bubble of their own sweet little reality. Oh. Okay. What are the characteristics Ashwini, moon in Ashwini, brings to a man or a woman in terms of intimate relationships? Because moon is the mind. Vedic knowledge always gives mind as the dominant aspect in connecting with the other person because you're living with the other person. This is not a one night stand. You're going to live with the other person, right? So you need to know their mind, their way they feel intimacy. We are just focusing on intimacy here, characteristics of intimacy as I call it. So what's the first one for Ashwini? The first one for Ashwini is active and energetic. Individuals influenced by Ashwini Nakshatra are generally dynamic, full of energy, and enthusiastic in their approach to love relationships. Big one. So if you need a partner who is kind of very active, even physically active, if Mars is strong in Ashwini, like sporty people, like the people who go to do hot yoga or Zumba classes or, athletic gym kind of guys, gymming guys, they have a lot of Ashwini. Forward. Think of Ashwini characteristics, but now we are translating in terms of intimacy only. Okay. Next one. Independent and freedom loving. Ashwini Nakshatra natives value their independence and freedom. They may appreciate a partner who respects their need for personal space and individuality within a relationship. It's so important to understand, right? Giving space to one another. Just because you're with one another, just because you are head over heels in love with one another, doesn't mean you're always clingy. You need to give each other personal space, freedom. You need to let them be who they are. Next one. Quick decision. They are quick decision makers. Ashwini is everything, is swift, quick. They make choices swiftly, trusting their instinct. Is this okay with you? If you're paired up with an Ashwini Nakshatra man or a woman, you got to live with this stuff. So you better get to know your man or woman's moon, where it is placed, right? Characteristics of intimacy. They are initiators. They may display an assertive nature when pursuing a romantic interest. Look at that. These are the Casanovas, man or a woman. Casanovi, whatever. Casanova, right? Casanova kind of creature. They want to go and court and woo the person, get them. They're outgoing. They want to go and get stuff. So they are initiators in a romantic relationship. They may display an assertive nature when pursuing a romantic interest and are likely to make the first move or express the feelings openly. These are those ones in parties. You go to a party, you have all mix of characters, and you find a man or a woman very boisterous, very outgoing, very out there, openly expressing confidently. They might be having an Ashwini in their moon. Impulsiveness and spontaneous. They may surprise their partners with unexpected gestures or impromptu romantic plans, candlelight dinners, keeping relationship dynamic and exciting. Who wouldn't want to have that? But you got to live with the rest of them also, okay? You can't pick and choose or cherry pick your own qualities out of your lover or spouse or husband or wife. Okay? You can't do that. You're going to take this comes as a package. So impulsiveness, well, many women would say, I don't like impulsive men. Well, you got to you like the rest of it. You like candlelight dinners. You got to live with the impulsiveness. This is one thing you got to understand. Like I said, this comes as a package. Nurturing and protective. Ashwini Nakshatra natives have a caring and protective nature towards their loved ones. It's good, isn't it? Want the protectiveness and want to be protected as well. Women understand this. Very few women think men don't need protection and caring. They do. They're as human as you are. Just because you're feminine body doesn't mean make you entitled to every damn thing. Okay. Now, high energy levels, passionate and lively approach to intimacy, making their love relationships vibrant and spirited. They have high passion levels, driven by Mars, obviously. If Mars is sitting in the seventh or sitting in the eighth, it's even more for an Aries ascendant. Highly sexual if it's in the eighth. Passionate, very highly passionate, lively approach to intimacy. Okay, remember that about Ashwini. You need to be matching up to them. If you have some other nakshatra, like I just said in the previous one, you need to match up to all of the stuff. It doesn't matter which nakshatra you are, it might be a completely different one. Adventurous and experimental. They may introduce novelty and adventure into their intimate relationships, seeking variety and excitement. Wonderful qualities. All good qualities. Actually, most nakshatra or all nakshatras have very good qualities. This is the thing I want you to get. And by the time I'm done with this 27, you will get it. Okay? There's nothing inherently wrong or right in and of itself. It's just that you need to know these things. If you are Ashwini and somebody is Mrikshirsha, you need to know. Although you are compatible, fine, that's just on paper, you still don't know the individual. How are you going to work out something in daily real life between you two if you don't know how to feed the other person, nurture the other person, love the other person the way that person sees love? Love is very relative. Each one sees it, perceives it differently. This is why I want to bring the Nakshatra series. Okay? Watch out for my next one, which will be Bharani. Let's see what Bharani sees intimacy like. Good evening, my wonderful people. Welcome to my channel. Boy, you guys are eating up my content. 8,000 views in 2 days. I had to churn out a lot for you people. Never mind. My pleasure. We are talking about intimacy and love for a lasting relationship. Now we come to Magha Nakshatra, the Leo, right? The Leo royal kings. Donald Trump is also a Leo. Sorry to say that, but never mind. So, Magha Nakshatra moon, if your moon sign, man or a woman's moon, is in Magha Nakshatra. Somebody had asked me in the comments also, I remember, chap is in love with a woman who is in Magha Nakshatra. Am I compatible? Maybe this is for you, dude. So, moon is in Magha Nakshatra. Okay. And Magha Nakshatra obviously is compatible with man or woman's moon in Magha Nakshatra. Same one. So 1, 3, 4, 7, 10, and 11 is the sign from Leo which we are counting. Yes? We have seen that previous videos also. So the third sign from Leo happens to be Libra, right? 5, 6, 7. So the third sign is Libra. So it is compatible if your man or a woman's chart, if in your chart moon is in Magha Nakshatra, the first compatible partner for you would be moon in Chitra Nakshatra or Vishakha Nakshatra in Libra, not Swati. Swati is a Devgana. We do not want to match Devgana and Rakshasgana. We do not want to do that ever, 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 ever. Okay? No. So, moon in Chitra or Vishakha, because both of those are also Rakshasgana Nakshatras. And because it's in the third place, it is obviously not got any Bhakut dosha in it. The next compatible sign for moon in Magha Nakshatra is the fourth sign from Leo, which happens to be Scorpio. By the way, if you're new to my channel, just a side note, my presentations, all of the content on my channel is best viewed on a tablet or a desktop, iPad, whatever, right? Phone is a kind of a little tricky to see all of this. It becomes too small. Just saying. Anyway, moon in Vishakha or moon in Jyeshtha Nakshatra, as you can see there, right? So the fourth sign from Leo, which happens to be Scorpio, should have man or woman's moon in Vishakha or in Jyeshtha Nakshatra. The next level of compatibility for moon in Magha Nakshatra is the seventh sign from Leo, which happens to be Aquarius. So the moon of the other partner should be in Dhanishta or in Shatabhisha Nakshatra of Aquarius. The next level of compatibility for moon in Magha Nakshatra is the 10th sign from Leo, which happens to be Taurus. And the moon in this case should be over Kritika Nakshatra because that is also Rakshas Gana. Remember always to match Ganas properly. That's the best combination. And remember always to take care of this Bhakut dosha business. Be safe. You'll have a lasting love throughout life. So, Kritika, moon over Kritika Nakshatra, which is 10th place from Leo. That's another good match. And this is one criteria. There are many other criteria. I'm taking the most important criteria. Okay. Next level of compatibility for moon in Magha Nakshatra is kind of Ardra Nakshatra, which is in 11th sign, which happens to be Gemini for a Leo ascendant or for a Leo. Is Ardra Nakshatra, but that's Manushagana. Again, it's kind of compatible, but I would prefer that. I would go Rakshasa only with Rakshasa. Okay. This is just me. So that happens to be the moon sign compatibility for Leo moon in Magha Nakshatra. Now let's see what are the characteristics of Nakshatra itself. How does Magha Nakshatra perceive intimacy and bonding? How can you please a man or a woman in Magha Nakshatra? That's important to know. Doesn't matter how many charts you match. My experience has been people come to me with perfectly well matched charts and they're saying, what's wrong with my husband? What's wrong with my wife? I've done case studies for you if you want. Don't go there, folks. Okay, don't blindly go consult an astrologer to match the chart. That's just a dumb software. It's your life, not a software. Okay, so let's see what a Magha Nakshatra feels, man or a woman, will feel intimacy like. So you can tune in better to their needs. You can bond with them better. You need to understand that first. Yes, it's common sense, just plain logic. So let's dive right into it. There you have it. Magha Nakshatra characteristics for our little lovers in the bubble over there with Valentine, just some little artsy thing I do. So, moon in Magha Nakshatra, the person's signs and characteristics of intimacy would be as follows. Royal and regal, straight away Leo, right? But they are royal and legal demeanor in their love relationships. They would want to take you out on candlelight dinners. They would want to shower you with gifts. These are as romantic as they get, right? They have a strong sense of self. They value their individuality and may desire a partner who can respect and appreciate their uniqueness. Leo. Everything Leo characteristics you can see in Magha Nakshatra, folks. They are proud and confident. They exude a sense of pride and confidence. They have a strong presence and may be attracted to partners who can match their self assuredness. It's me, look at me, look at me. That's Leo, right? Respect for tradition. Now, this is Magha Nakshatra specifically. This comes from Vedic astrology specifically. Why? Because Magha's ancestry is Pitrus, the ancestors. So they're very traditional as they come. They're great traditionalists. Okay, Magha Nakshatra. They have a deep respect for tradition and may seek partners who share similar values, obviously. If you're a traditional kind of a man or a woman, doesn't matter which part of the world you are, seek out another traditional Magha Nakshatra. Magha Nakshatra is compatible with Magha Nakshatra. They appreciate cultural customs and rituals that uphold their sense of heritage. What is my culture? If it doesn't matter if you're somebody from America, somebody from the Arab lands, each one has their culture, right? What is your culture? What is your tradition? I want to uphold that. I want to uphold our family values and inculcate culture in our children. All these kinds of things are important to Magha Nakshatra. Simple. Generosity and benevolence. Generous and benevolent nature. They enjoy showering their partners with love and affection. Oh, and material comforts. Family oriented. These are the family oriented people. Even if we talk about El Presidente Donald Trump, he was a very family oriented guy, right? You can see that. He keeps in touch with all of his family. I'm just saying what I read in the news. Family oriented. They have a strong emphasis on family and ancestral ties. They value their family's legacy and may seek partners who also prioritize family values, right? So everything is about family for Magha Nakshatra. Why? Because it is deity is ruled by Pitrus. See? Pitru means everything about ancestry, everything about your family lineage, everything about your family tradition. I want to do this way. We want to live this way. We want to go to the church or mosque or temple every Saturday or Sunday or whatever the day of the week is. We want to uphold all this cultural tradition, traditional way of dressing, traditional way of associating. If you're a traditionalist, your moon might be in Magha Nakshatra, by the way. They prefer traditional gender roles. They may value the roles of provider and protector for men and nurturer and supporter for women. There you go. Once again, the signature is of Pitris, ancestors, is of a traditional man and a traditional woman, as straight jacket as they come. If you're somebody who's unorthodox, a maverick type of nakshatra, don't go towards Magha. They will just hate you for it, right? They don't like untraditional, unorthodox stuff. Recognition and prestige. They may value social status and may be attracted to partners who can contribute to their sense of accomplishment. Again, Leo plus Magha nakshatra, kind of, right? So this is their signature, the beautiful Magha nakshatra. They are all proper Leo characteristics and proper ancestry, which is the energy of Magha nakshatra itself, right? This is my little take for Magha nakshatra. Next, we shall do, I don't know what comes after Magha. Purva Falguni. Let's do Purva Falguni, the Casanovas of the Nakshatras. Let's do that next. In the meantime, take care, be safe, love your partners, love everyone. What's wrong with this world? Too much violence and less love, right? Take care, be safe. So, when a man or woman's chart, you have the moon in Moola Nakshatra, the first level of compatibility would be the third sign from Sagittarius, which happens to be Aquarius, as you can see there. And the moon of the partner should be in Dhanishta or Shatabesha, because the primary criteria is it has to be in different positions: the first, the third, fourth, seventh, 10th, and 11th, as it's shown on the screen. And in this case, we are trying to match the Ganas first as a primary criteria. So moon in Moola will be compatible at the first level with moon in Dhanishta Nakshatra or Shatabhisha Nakshatra, which falls in Aquarius, which is third sign from Sagittarius. Aquarius is 3 steps away from Sagittarius. The next level of compatibility of moon in Moola Nakshatra will be Uttara Bhadrapada and Purva Bhadrapada in Pisces, but that's a lower level of compatibility. The Gana should be matching. The Rakshas Gana should match Rakshas Gana. Okay. And the last level of compatibility, sorry, the third level of compatibility would be in Gemini with moon in Ardra Nakshatra. So man and woman's in Mula and partners one in Ardra Nakshatra. Again, this is one step down. Still, the Manushya can kind of understand the Rakshasa. They're somewhere in between. The fourth one, level of compatibility, this is a good one, is Moon in Moola Nakshatra for the man or woman, and the partners would be in Chitra Nakshatra in the sign of Capricorn, the 10th sign from Sagittarius. And Chitra Nakshatra is highly creative, and Moola Nakshatra is highly investigative. So this is sort of a depth of intimacy there also, which would be helpful in a partnership. If they're kind of having similar traits, characteristics, it helps a lot. The last level of compatibility, and this is also a good one, is when moon is in Mula and the partner's moon is in Vishakha Nakshatra in the 11th place, which is Libra. Now, Sagittarius being a fire sign and Libra being an air sign, sort of the fire fans the air. Okay, it supports it. So think of these elemental compatibility also. For example, the third one, Moola, the third sign is Aquarius. Again, that is fire and air. There is always more compatibility between fire and air, right? Now let us examine the intimacy aspects of Moola itself. So there we have our lovers in the bubble, and let's see how they can be intimate together for life. Moola Nakshatra, what does it look for in intimacy? They are adventurous and free spirited, max. Okay, Moola Nakshatra is really adventurous and free spirited. They seek excitement and new experiences with their partners and may thrive in unconventional or non traditional relationship dynamics. Mula is anything but conventional. It is getting to the root of everything. They can see through all your hypocrisies. They can see through all your pretensions. If you're having a partner, don't try to fool a Mula Nakshatra person. They can see through everything. Just be truthful. Okay. And expect the non-traditional way of relationships. There's nothing traditional about destruction, right? So they enjoy engaging in intellectual conversations. Think of the intellectual depth that Moola has. It's the maximum. Okay. It's the heart of Sagittarius after all. Intellectual conversations and exploring profound concepts with their partners. If you're trying to explore, if you're trying to have an intellectual mind for a partner where you can discuss things night and day, and not be tired of it, or not have the other person bored of thinking of some other mundane material aspects, Mula Nakshatra is for you. Find such partners. They are independent and self reliant. They appreciate partners who respect their need for personal freedom and allow them space to explore their individuality. Simple. If a person is individualistic and if a person is highly having a depth of exploration in intellectual capacity, guess what? You have to allow them a lot of freedom. If you don't allow them freedom, they're going to be frustrated with you and they're going to shut off and they're going to find new partners. It's that simple. They have a strong willpower and can overcome challenges that come their way. They demonstrate perseverance and determination. They're very determined people. I know some couple of Moola Nakshatras. They're very determined. They're highly intellectual. All right. They value their independence while also recognizing the importance of creating deep, meaningful bond with their partners. Depth is everything with Mula. Mula in Sanskrit means root. It is symbolized by a bunch of roots tied together. It is the uncovering or the unwrapping of that root is Mula Nakshatra. In Vedic astrology, you have to understand everything by this symbol and by the deities that govern. Look at that. The deity of Mula Nakshatra is Nriti, the goddess of dissolution. This is a very powerful Devi Shakti energy, extremely powerful. It is not to be messed with. They will burn you to the ground if they are finding something wrong with anything going here and there. They are intense and passionate. They bring strong emotional energy to their relationship and seek deep connections with their partners, both on emotional and spiritual level. They seek partners who align with their values and aspirations, okay, and are driven by a desire to make meaningful impact together. They are spiritually inclined. They may find solace and growth in exploring their spiritual journey together with their partners. They want to do things with you. They want to explore with you as partners. They seek partners who can support with their personal development and help them evolve as individuals. See, it's a characteristic trait of somebody with a highly deep emotional depth, intellectual depth combined to seek constant growth in life. They're not static kind of energy. It's a very highly dynamic, moving kind of energy. You got to be in tune or you'll get out of step. They value honesty and authenticity. See, there I started with this. Authenticity, you can't fool a Mula Nakshatra. They value honesty and authenticity and may have a keen ability to see through deception and falsehoods. Moola means uncovering the roots, going to the depth, literally going into the depth of the soil and uncovering what exactly drives this plant or this person. They will see through everything. Be ready to be seen with the Moola Nakshatra. All right, next we shall do the second half of Sagittarius, Purva Nakshatra. Meantime, take care, be safe.